Call meeting.
And I think we have. Please go ahead now.
Testing.
Yeah, that's better. Go ahead. Thank you.
All right. Yes, so just further along with the update. Work is finally set to begin at the Warwick Ballpark, putting up the fencing and netting. That work is there. That company has been set to mobilize many times over since I started here back in, or not since I started here, but since May. Finally coming to an end now, and they're set to be on site Friday of this week. Watford Park washrooms have been closed for the season, as has Warwick Park. Splash pad closed for the season as well. Special projects. So we did do some work at the township signs on Navi Road, both the north and south entrance to the town. And we currently have some plans and putting some ideas together to undertake the signs on the east and west as we enter the township. And this work will be done in early spring of 2023. And again, we work in partnership with the Watford Horticulture Society in putting that together as well. Quotes are being attained to complete the roof replacement. It will form part of the 2023 council budget considerations for the Watford Library. The Watford Community Arena Project renovations, options for the new furniture for the viewing platform and flex space area in the arena lobby. That's been ordered. We'll include some high top tables and chairs. That equipment or that furniture should be on site within probably the next 2 to 3 weeks. ELCC construction updates. Obviously a lot happening in that center right now, which is fantastic for the community, fantastic for us. We're excited to get that building open and full of great community programming. The YMCA Fitness Center is substantially complete, ready for operation. The YMCA is accepting memberships currently. They're doing site tours on a regular basis right now and are in full swing operation beginning Monday. Gymnasium has been completed. It'll be equipped for a multitude of sports, including basketball, volleyball, badminton, pickleball, dodgeball, walking. Essentially endless opportunities. Equipment is all on site for each of those sports. Furniture has been ordered, expected to be on site in the coming weeks. Chairs have been delivered, they're on site. The 16 by 24-foot portable stage with accessible ramp and stairs has been delivered and is on site. Sports netting and posts and equipment, as I mentioned earlier, has been delivered on site. Score clock and LED screen installed. Office and community meeting room furniture has been ordered and should arrive within the coming weeks as well. Audio visual equipment installation is currently underway. So plenty happening there, but we're certainly down to the finishing touches of the facility, which is great for everyone. The fundraising campaign for the LCC, 1.8 million, I believe, is the number that is now realized, very close to the end goal. So kudos to that committee and that group, to George and Rhonda Knoll for leading the charge there. We're almost to the end finish line, which is fantastic. The arena workshop project is underway, anticipated to be completed by end of 2022. Human resources update. So recruitment for a fall winter part-time arena staff is complete. We've hired 2 new part-time staff. We did have one current Parks and Recreation laborer has recently accepted an open position within Public Works. So we posted for that full-time opportunity internally, which closed today, and we'll know the path forward on that recruitment process by the end of this week. Looking to fill that position immediately. Couple community requests and projects. So the Arbor Week Committee tree planting project. So that work has been completed. Planting of 12 trees in and around the area of Watford Park, Ballpark, and behind the ELCC. Separate to that project as well, we also planted 6 autumn blaze red maples in between the school and the baseball diamond, which they're pretty substantial in size, the trees that were planted, which is great. So it shouldn't take too long to mature and start to provide the benefit of shade and sun shelter. More trees, the merrier. Quick programming update. Obviously, with the new ELCC, we're eager to start programming that space accordingly. We're open to new programs. We encourage the community to reach out, and we're open to having discussions and conversations with anybody looking to rent and utilize the space. And we're happy to partner and assist where need be, and ultimately establishing some great community programming. We have some current skating programs that are taking place, adult, parents and tots, public skating. We have open play adult pickleball. We are in discussions, continuing our partnership with the local arts council in putting together some art programs for the fall and winter, or for the late fall winter season. We have the Walk with Warwick walking program, which is set to begin early November, Monday, Wednesday mornings. And we've also just recently added a Thursday night walking session as well. This information, programming information, posters can be found on the township website. So we encourage everyone to take a look at that, and we'll continue to populate as we move forward with new programs. We did put together a one-day event in our gymnasium scheduled for November 5th. We're calling it our Saturday Sports Day, where we're going to encourage the community to come out, take a look at the gymnasium. We'll have it set up with a number of different sports for people to see and to visualize the space. We'll have equipment. They can come and play some volleyball, play some badminton, shoot some hoops, throw some dodgeballs around, but just really take some time to experience the space and see what types of programs we can offer. We'll be doing a number of drop-in clinics over the course of the fall as well. And we'll continue to have discussions with groups with some exciting news, probably to be announced early next week regarding some recreational sporting play at the ELCC as well, which is exciting. Sure.
Maybe you can't speak to it yet, but I was just wondering, I mean, a big change, I guess, for this community would be changing the public skating from Sunday to Saturday. So I was just wondering, have we seen yet, like, is there better turnout? Is there worse turnout? Is it too early to say? I mean, it's just always been Sundays, so I'm interested to hear what Saturday looks like.
We have had a positive turnout to date. I think it's probably maybe a little bit early to tell. We'll see once the seasons change and we get into winter season and kind of gauge how it's utilized throughout the winter. It was sort of necessary step for us to take to accommodate an increased request in some of our ice user groups. I think it was still important for us to ensure we still had a public skate time on the weekend. But yes, we'll gauge the day change, and maybe possibly look to revisit that for future seasons as well. And yeah, just one more quick note. I'll just highlight the ELCC donor recognition event and public open house that was held last week, October 12th. Well attended. The fundraising committee was fantastic in leading some tours of the facility. As we're counselors, we're actively seeking conversations and having conversations with the community about the space, which is fantastic. All in all, I would say it was a positive day and just a great sort of first step in getting the community into the facility and sort of starting to vision what that end product looks like. Thank you.
John?
Yeah, another question about the skating, the parent and taught skating. I know some years or other years we would have basically when the ice is open in the morning, like from 10 to 11 every day, they had a donation box, whatever, and if anytime they had free time, they would go out. Is that a possibility again, or you just want to keep it to 1 day a week?
If there's a community need for it and the ice is available, we would certainly be open to adding additional dates. We prefer to have some set designated times as opposed to having it open for anyone to kind of come and go as they please. I think it's important to have dedicated times, but could we look to add additional dates if there's a need for it? Absolutely.
And one other question. People have been asking when you get the pickleball going in the ELCC, will it be organized through the committee or through you, or is it through the Y?
Yeah, that's a great question too. These are conversations that we're having with the YMCA staff right now on what that programming looks like, both in terms of the ELCC and the gymnasium. I think we'll continue to work in partnership, but I see us very much involved in continuing with the pickleball programming. It's quite popular, well attended. On a personal note, I'm actually looking forward to having my office moved away from the pickleballers who are currently using the upper arena hall. I hear them; they're quite active. But yes, I see them sort of venturing into the gymnasium space, but the township continuing to sort of lead the charge there.
Wayne?
I had a couple of things, Ryan. I mentioned to you already, but I wanted to get them in the minutes. On the opening of the new East Lambton Community Complex, I had a couple of requests. One that was next summer, if pickleball could maybe be inside rather than outside. Some of the people that were a little older found the heat and the humidity just maybe a little too much. The other thing was I had a request from two ladies, actually, if we could set up some kind of a euchre or whatever like they used to have in the Friendship Center across the road. It's been closed for what, 2-3 years now? And they wondered if they could get something like that going.
Thank you, Councillor Morris. Yes, those are two great points and great starting points for us. In terms of the pickleball, so this past summer season, we did maintain a space indoors in the event of inclement weather. So we can certainly make that options on a more regular basis, should the groups want to use the indoor space. More often than not, whether it's the upper hall in the arena or the arena floor, that space would be available. And if, ultimately, if that's what our pickleball users and community members would like, we can certainly entertain that and ensure that that's an option. The cards, the euchre cards, those are activities that we definitely want to jump on and be part of and support where need be. I think it's great. The programming that we want to do, the community programming, doesn't always have to be sport related. I think the social aspect that getting together to play a game of cards or games or any of those types of social services that we can provide. We are definitely interested in exploring those, whether it's the township leading the charge or working with members of the community that want to convene or lead the charge. I'm happy to sit down and talk to anybody to put those programs in place and together. But I can certainly add that to our list internally, myself and Emily, our Parks and Recreation Facilities Assistant, to come up with some township-led programs in terms of cards.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just wondering about fees for the new complex. We have more than one community group that was using somewhere like the Centennial Hall for quite a reduced rate. And I know there's some concerns about, are they going to be able to afford to use the new facility? And I haven't seen anything about that yet.
Yeah, thank you. And that's a great question too. So our fees for service specific to the ELCC were just recently approved or endorsed at a council meeting. Once we did have some direction to make some revisions to our fees for service as they were identified, which are great. Staff are working on doing that right now. And when that final list is up to date, we'll ensure that that's posted on our website and out to our users.
Is there going to be, like, at one point we had a youth rate of like $15 at Centennial Hall. Is that going to be an option for them?
Yes, we will continue with our recreation rate. I believe it's $20 per function. And that also was supported by council and directed from council.
And does that include, like, I guess my question is also about space. So, like, can they use the gym? Do they only get a meeting room? Like, how does, if I were to use like Brownies or Scouts or something like that, like the gym could be a really great space for them, but I expect we're charging more than $20 to use the gym.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look back and see how that reads in terms of the recreation rate within the gymnasium banquet hall versus meeting rooms. But we can report back at our next meeting when our fee structure is finalized and up to date, and certainly share with this group for discussion and share to the community.
Ryan, I just had a couple questions. One, the two signs at the end of town, at night they do flash, and I know we've had battery problems with those in the past. Is there any new technology that we can put there? That's one.
Yeah, in terms of the new technology, I'll have to ask those questions to the sign company, but we do have a service order was placed on coming in and looking at those two township signs. A few years back, they did replace the solenoid or the batteries, lithium batteries within those signs. And yeah, as I mentioned, the service call has been made. They're hoping to get here this week, but it probably looking like early to mid next week. But we'll definitely get that that up to date, and I can have further discussions with them on the technology aspect.
Great, thank you. And my other question is, we've put the active transport plan out to tender a couple times and we haven't got a lot of interest. Is there a concern with that, or is it just busyness of the consultants, or? Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a tough one. It's went out for public tender once to date, with no active bids received. Plenty of uptake on the application or on the proposal, but no proposals received. It does allow our procurement, our RFP process does allow staff to continue to have conversations one-on-one with potential businesses, potential consultants, in terms of maybe reaching like an agreement just on a one-on-one conversation. Nothing has materialized there to date, and it could very well be the potential that we do put it out a second time around. I think without knowing specifics, it's just kind of my ideas, my thoughts on it. I think the timing, it was just too much for some companies to undertake. But I think in my mind, if putting it out for a second tender to see what happens now or in the coming probably month or two, so businesses can maybe jump on and get on board for an early 2023 project, get it into their list and docket now, I think would benefit us, and we'll see how that transpires. And if I could just add a note on that too, the active transportation plan, we did apply for some funding, which we were successful in. So this plan will be funded through government grants.
That's great, John.
Yeah, I heard on the radio yesterday about the Lambton County Trail System. So we're involved in the Lambton County Trail System, and you're hoping somehow to get people from around the community, around the county out to our trail system. Is that the plan?
Yes, absolutely. That's a big piece to the active transportation plan, is looking at and integrating our system or developing a system within our township that integrates ultimately with the council trail system. That was identified within the existing proposal that went out as a sort of a key item to be identified and work through that process. But there's great trail systems all around this county.
Any other business to discuss tonight? And can we get a motion to receive and file Ryan's report? Wayne and Martina, all in favor? Thank you, John. Saw your hand. It's motion carried. And any other business? Seeing none, can I have a motion to adjourn? Martina and John. And Wayne, you're in favor of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Good meeting.